Hello and welcome to 3 from the 7, Relix's weekly news podcast chronicling 3 of our biggest news stories from the past 7 days. I am Relix Associate Editor Rafaela Kenny Sancada. My friends call me Raf. And I am joined by the one, the only, standing at 7 feet, 4 inches.
That's right.
Karina Reichman!
Yeah. What's up, Raf?
I truly don't know how tall you are, so I just threw a number out there.
Let's call 5'6". Let's call it 5'6".
5'6" is solid.
5'7" on a good day.
I walked around my whole life thinking I was 5'4" and found out I was 5'3", so...
Well,
we all fall short sometimes.
Tough breaks, sister.
Yeah, exactly. How are you, Karina? It's nice to have you back in the studio.
It feels great. I'm feeling good, Raf. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. It's been a good week. I'm going to Colorado tomorrow, and I'm playing Fort Collins, Crested Butte, and Denver with Marco Benevento. So my fellow Colorado folks. If you're out there and listening.
Making eye contact across the room to our wonderful new video setup.
And you, I see you. Put that joint down. Nah, don't. You're good. I see you. I'm coming. I'll see you there. Really looking forward to it. But, you know, it means these weekend runs mean I get to be back in your presence a week from today.
Truly hashtag blessed, Karina.
Which is what we're looking forward to. So things are good. Things are great.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, we have all these developments in the 3 from the 7 worlds. We have our new Roadcaster Pro. Karina showed. Yes, Karina gets to pull all the buttons.
I get paid to urinate in people's ears.
Don't we all, Raf? Don't we all? What's that, Trey?
I get paid to urinate in people's ears.
Oh, man.
Oh, if you haven't seen Bittersweet Motel, it is truly the best documentary.
You should probably watch that.
That's the Phish documentary.
Yeah, certainly.
So Karina's got plenty of buttons to play with, which I'm sure you will hear all of them on our beautiful Roadcaster Pro. I'm sure that's exactly the intention they wanted when they sent it to us.
Exactly, and you know what they say, yo, 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 it's the Roadcaster Pro. So, and thanks to our pal Josh Rowe, as in, yo, 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 it's Josh Rowe for programming the Roadcaster Pro. So feeling great about that.
Yeah, exactly. And then in addition, so we got the Roadcaster Pro. We have our beautiful video set up. So now people can both hear us, watch us. It's an audio-visual experience. And we have an Instagram now, Karina.
Oh, Raf.
At number 3 from the number 7. So like numeric 3, numeric 7. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to do our best to keep the people updated, and then it'll be fun because then you can like interact with us in the social media sphere or whatever. Right?
I'm planning on going live from my hotel room at around 4 a.m. every night this weekend. So
it's the first thing Karina said.
You can tune in.
It's like, yeah, I'm just going to fully go wild and go live whenever. So that means
Christ.
you have to follow 3 from the 7 on Instagram. You're getting that hot content.
I feel like it might be a great place for me to do all the stuff that I would never post on my own Instagram.
That's truly wild because you feel pretty unadulterated.
Is that right?
I mean, I think you go pretty wild on your Instagram. So now if this is like the unrated version.
I feel like I'm always toning it down for the people. This is news to me, Raf. I don't know what you're talking about.
Karina, you never tone down for anyone, and that's why people love you.
I have no nipple appearances on any of my Instagram posts, FYI.
Well, Instagram would take it down anyway.
Oh, good.
Gotta free that hashtag free the nipple.
There aren't you know, I feel like, you know, young feminist icons like King Princess and the like, they're always showing their nipples on the thing. Not that I'm trying to do that, y'all. I know. We're coming in too hot on the second video. I can't wait for the Instagram, Raf. It's going to be great. We're going to have some really swell content on there, and It's going to be great. And never forget,
I get paid to urinate in people's ears.
So it's just a blessed living, and I'm really happy to be here and doing this with you.
So our sound engineer, Will Schwerd, programmed some of that in addition to Josh Rowe, and I don't think he realized how often the paid to urinate in people's ears was going to be used right off the bat.
You never know what's going to happen.
You going to do one more?
Yeah, I was looking into... Yo, how about... Yeah.
Your trip is short.
There you go.
Your trip is short.
It's basically a late night set.
It's going on for a while, but that's okay.
It's spooky. Well, in addition to the spookiness of the ghost, our first story of the week is a little spooky for us because it's about sports, which are not either of our forte, but the people dictate what we talk about. And 2 of the biggest stories on Relix this week were the Super Bowl. Both Phish and the Grateful Dead were used as like intro, outro music. Karina, did you watch the Super Bowl? Is this anything you're even somewhat interested in?
I did not watch the Super Bowl. I swear I'm from America. Yeah, you know, I had a dear family friend's birthday dinner to attend, and it slipped away, Raf. It just slipped away. I'm not opposed to, watching a regular season football game here and there, but have I ever truly sat and watched the Super Bowl? Maybe once or twice, but it's not, again, not my forte. What can I tell you?
So not to be like whose birthday was it, but presumably this person didn't really give a shit about football either.
She's a 70-year-old woman who,
wow.
Friend of my parents and whatnot. So me and my parents and her, we went to Indochine. Shout out to Indochine, and if we could get some sponsorship.
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous restaurant. Been here for 35 years in Manhattan. Great place. And we went and we had a beautiful dinner celebrating her, her birthday.
It's wonderful. What kind of restaurant is it?
It's like a Vietnamese restaurant. It is fabulous. I'll take you there one day. I'll take you there.
Please
yeah,
do.
it's a family favorite.
You and I haven't gone out to lunch until since our first time we hung out. If we wanted to see if a podcast would work between us, Karina took me out for oysters and it was super dope.
What are you gonna do?
Took me out for one date, never called me again.
Never called you again.
Ridiculous.
I've seen you every week, Raph.
All right, whatever, fine. You never take me out anymore.
I'll take you out
It's all
next
right.
week after the taping. We'll
all
go
right.
get lit on Mercury and bivalves. What?
The only other
Absolutely. They're gonna regret giving me this toy. They're gonna regret it. Oh, Roadcaster Pro, you're so sweet. I like you.
very cool.
Thank you.
It lights up, it's got buttons and colors, and it's insane.
So wait,
Yeah.
what the hell are we talking about? Sports? We're
Sports.
talking about sports.
So in
yeah.
addition to-
Super Bowl. She watched it.
I did watch it.
She's a normal person.
Yeah, I mean, I ate a bunch of chicken wings and then went to Martha's Country Bakery in Williamsburg and had a delightful slice of cheesecake. So that was my Super Bowl. I did throw a little money on a box or whatever. Did not win. Lost $33. You live, you learn. San Francisco was hoping for them to win. Did not win.
Tough break.
Mr. Bob Weir was in attendance, which ties it back to our scene. He was obviously cheering for the San Francisco 49ers. But the Kansas City Chiefs pulled it out. As I said, intro and outro music were The Dead and Phish, which obviously excited a lot of people. I was hanging out with a big group of Relix friends, and the minute they did a Bertha outro, all of us were like, yo!
That's I'm sad that I didn't watch it just for those moments. And it was free in Character Zero otherwise
Yeah.
for Phish, right?
Very
so that's a beautiful thing.
And actually, one other funny thing about the Super Bowl is, so I showed up to this kind of Super Bowl watch thing in a tie-dye t-shirt, being like, oh, okay, go 49ers, go San Francisco, I'll wear a Dead shirt. Two other people there wearing Dead shirts, tie-dyed, for the very same reason. And all three of us were like, look at us.
Are we to really believe that you guys wouldn't have been wearing those shirts regardless of
That's
the
a
day?
good point. That's a very good point.
You know what I'm trying to say, Rav. I mean, come on.
Karina, are you calling me a wook?
I'm just trying to say. Most days, that's the getup.
That's
No,
true.
I mean, the
and
people.
I did sell myself out earlier where I was like, yeah, I finally did laundry, and I was just getting down to t-shirts just because I was wearing clothes just because it was the only clean clothes I had, one of them being a wonderful tie-dye Dead & Company shirt.
Well, what are you gonna do, right, Rav? I mean, that's kind of that's the uniform around here.
It is. There's
So.
a lot of tie-dye at Relix HQ. I will rarely see a tie, but I always see tie.
Hey, look at
Thank
that!
you.
Look at that!
And when people wear ties around the office, I'm literally like, what, you go to court later? What are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Not for me. Anyway, moving on to our second story of the week. Dark Star Orchestra's Jeff Mattson will play two Jerry Garcia guitars this month in San Francisco. He will be playing Jerry's alligator guitar as well as Garcia's acoustic Martin D28. Super awesome experience for people to go and see Jerry guitars being played through Dead music in San Francisco. Karina, have you ever been around a Jerry guitar? Is this have you touched a Jerry guitar?
I only at the Met exhibit, but never. No, has one ever crossed my actual physical? I'm touching this guitar path. No, not yet. But there's hope still.
Yeah.
I feel.
I saw the very same Met exhibit. We've talked about it on the pod before. If given the opportunity, I think I've mentioned this before. If given the opportunity, I'd be hesitant to touch or play a Jerry guitar.
It's a tricky. There's obviously if you're a guitar player who's spent their life, playing the music of the Grateful Dead, and then you get that opportunity. I understand both jumping on it and also being a little recalcitrant. So, I mean, I think Jeff Mattson's going to bring the house down with it. It's got good juju in it, right?
Of course. Mr. Jonathan Healey, who is the video director for Dayglow Ventures as well.
I hit the wrong button. I tried to hit applause for you, Healey. You see, you can't trust me with this thing.
Karina's doing a live improvised set on the Roadcaster Pro. And
It's applause. That's the applause I wanted to give you, John Healey.
Well, I'm about to sell him out, so I'm not sure if we should applause so
all right.
much. I interviewed him on the podcast when Karina was away a few months back now, I guess I would say. But which he told me before, like, don't mention it on the podcast. He has played a Jerry guitar before, but chose to play Phish licks on the Jerry guitar as like a troll. But he didn't want me to tell people, and I'm telling people right now.
Yo, that is savage, Raph. You
Dude,
are savage.
He tells people all the time, and then next thing you know, he's like, yo, don't tell people about that.
Yo.
It's like, Healey, you know my number. It's okay.
Oh, man.
I'm sure he'll roast me for it later.
It's all going to be great. You know what, Healey? That's your prerogative, bro. That's your prerogative. You can do whatever you want. It's a free country.
But the alligator guitar, as well as Garcia's Martin, were donated to the band for the evenings of February 14th and 15th from the guitar collector Andy Logan, who people know because he recently bought Alligator with a winning bid of $420,000.
That is swell. That is a
about
swell
savage.
use of zeros. 6 figures. That's the best 6-figure number I've ever considered.
Oh, for sure. And the best thing is, like, imagine being in the auction house and it's just like final bids and he's just like $420,000. I would literally just like stand up and be like, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Nice, bro.
Nice.
And the alligator guitar, of course, famously was played during Europe 72. So a historic guitar from Mr. Jerry Garcia.
Good for you, Andy Logan.
Yeah.
Andy Logan. You know what? I think I could be trusted again. Are you ready? There you go. Andy Logan, my man. Canned applause for you.
We should get him on the pod. I feel like he would be an interesting person to talk to.
Let's call him today. We can make some
Call
calls.
him up, dude.
Andy, it's Karina. What's that?
Huh?
You want me to play Phish licks on your alligator? We just had a sick Reba jam in my head. Anyway,
Andy Logan supposedly has a bunch of other Jerry guitars, a bunch of replica guitars.
Sure, he's got a lot of cool
replicas.
stuff.
He just has like a library of cool replicas and originals, and loans them out to jam bands who want to play cool guitars. Which
Bless his heart.
Good work if you can find it. You know.
You know what else is good work if you can
I
find
get
it?
paid to urinate in people's ears.
I think that is good work if you could find it, as is urinating in people's ears, Raph.
Amen.
It's great.
Karina. As we move on to our third story of the week, Mr. Spike Lee is set to direct a film version of David Byrne's American Utopia Broadway show. I am incredibly stoked about this. I'm stoked that people are going to be able to consume this media that David Byrne so painstakingly created. The American Utopia show is absolutely unreal. I saw it at Forest Hills in September 2018 at Forest Hills. Karina, have you seen American Utopia?
I saw this, but at the Panorama Music and Arts Festival.
Okay,
2
yeah.
years
You
ago.
saw like the tour I saw.
The tour, yeah, exactly. So that was essentially the same performance, but in a festival setting as opposed to at, their own show or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did see it, and of course it was, exceeded expectations.
Of course, and the Broadway show has been on Broadway since October of 2019. It's like sold out every night. I know tons of people are trying to get in there. So like I said, I'm glad that this film is being created anyway, and to have Spike Lee on board, it's really, really cool. And I know some people in the jam scene are probably thinking, Spike Lee, what a weird choice. Spike Lee and Bruce Hornsby have been very good friends for years and collaborated on film and music stuff, so Spike Lee knows what's up.
Absolutely.
He's in our little corner of the universe.
And in the press release, David Byrne said, pinch me, and this couldn't have worked out better for this project. So you know what? I say David can decide exactly who he wants to, have his hands all over, this thing. So,
and I'm going to bring up Phish always on this podcast. I know a lot of people were talking about. I know even myself when I saw the Phish New Year's gag, so much of it felt like American Utopia. The way the staging was, the way people kind of moved around. Obviously, the monochromatic or multi-monochromatic aspects of it. Did you feel that way? Did you kind of feel a similar thread between the Phish New Year's gag and American Utopia?
I mean, there's plenty of good reason to say that. Absolutely. Yeah. Theatrically and whatnot, It makes a lot of sense.
And this little band called Phish, they cover Talking Heads quite a bit.
They sure do. I mean, if you're not inspired by David Byrne, who are you inspired by in this, realm?
Yeah.
Who's more? I don't know.
I've heard like one of the number one New York experiences is seeing David Byrne ride his bike, and I have yet to see it, but I'm always keeping my eyes peeled.
Well, it could happen. I went to, school with Malou Byrne, David Byrne's daughter, who is a few years older than me, but there would be the very often David, coming by on the bicycle and leaving, and I'd be like, holy shit.
Would he pick her up on like a 2-person bike? And she would like hop on back?
I mean, that would be really cute. I just remember I would see him coming on the bike and going on the bike.
Helmet or no helmet?
I don't believe there was a helmet. Maybe.
I mean, with his hair.
It was a long time ago.
It's like, these are, Karina, the life you lead. You're just like, yeah, I would see David Byrne all the time. I don't really remember.
I mean, you know.
If I saw David Byrne
young.
today, it would just burn into my psyche. I would be
Actually,
like, there he is.
On the same kind of, Upper West Side school, thread, Spike Lee actually toured my school once, and it was in the era of like the Razor flip phone. You remember the Razor flip phone?
Yeah.
And I
remember it. I had one.
Oh, baby, I had a pink one.
Me too.
Yo! So we had the Razor pink flip phone, and I was like, I don't know, I was in 7th grade or something, I don't know, and I was running around because everybody was like, oh, Spike Lee's touring the school today, and I was like, no way, and I literally was like, I don't know, in between classes, like crawling around, like trying to take a covert paparazzi photo of Spike Lee, and I think I got one on my Razor flip phone.
Nice. Well, those Razor pictures last forever. So
wonder where that went.
So glad.
I never made a buck off that. Who knew?
It's like that Razor phone is just rotting in a dump somewhere.
Totally. Oh my
it's
god.
like, well, at least it got to experience Spike Lee. That's so funny. We had the same cell phone. I remember
great.
I had a picture of that Razor phone on my MySpace page,
Dude.
which like I took an ad for the Razor phone I had and embedded it with HTML on my MySpace page. Which dates me enough because people think I'm really young, but also like that I can like remember doing HTML on MySpace. Come on,
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
Were you a MySpace girl? Or
I
did you wait for
had one,
Facebook?
but I never really cracked the code. Like I had it to like check out bands, and like my band had one in 8th grade. That was like a thing. It's where you put your music
Oh, yeah.
when you were in 8th grade. So that was good. And then very quickly it was Facebook. I never did know HTML and shit like
come
that.
on.
No.
You had to change the backgrounds.
Not
you
e-
had to,
I-
get a song that plays when people log.
I probably did that. I never really cracked the code on it. I was an early Facebook adopter.
There was the politics of like the top 5. Or
Man,
whatever.
the whole thing. Well, yeah, right. No, I never got that. I'm telling you, I was just like, yo, this is my band's MySpace.
Which band was this?
It was called False Arrest. And I believe it was myspace.com/the false arrest, in case anybody would like to Google and hear some really
I heard
choice
that like the MySpace archives got like deleted.
Oh, good.
So all that hard work gone.
Good. Perfect. That, yeah. I mean, it was great while it lasted.
Were you on vocals or was it just lead guitar? for you?
Lead guitar, baby.
Oh, babe.
Actually, that's not true. Rhythm guitar. It's my first band.
Oh man, just like strumming that G chord.
They strummed a lot of power chords. It was a punk band. It was my first band. It was a punk band. Good
Why were you
times.
called False Arrest?
Because there was an episode of great question, Raph. There was an
I'm a
episode
bit of a journalist.
There was an episode of Cops that I was watching, and there was a gentleman in the back of the police car who was freaking the fuck out, going, "False arrest, victim assaulted," and I thought that was hilarious. Well, not hilarious, but I was like, oh.
It's like this will come back to bite
And
you.
then I said to my friends, you know what we should call the band? False Arrest. And they were like, great name, Karina. Done.
Wow.
So I named the band.
Just love to imagine Upper West Side 7th grade Karina just casually watching Cops in her spare
That was
time.
great. I want y'all. Listen,
Just like bad boys.
you don't get this screwed up from doing nothing.
It's like truly coming of age in reality television really messed a lot of people
Hey.
up, myself included. I mean, I watched a lot of Real World in my day.
God bless you.
Which one-
When I would stay home sick from school, at a very young age, there was Maury, and then there was Jerry Springer.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll fuck you up.
Yo,
That'll really fuck you up. Don't everybody, now there's all these parental controls. People know what their children are doing. It's a whole thing. Back in my day, I mean,
Jerry Springer.
there just
3
wasn't a
hours.
lot of supervision in that way. You know what I mean? But sometimes I'd have to cool out and like read like a dictionary. or
It's like a teen people. Just like I gotta level out.
I
Read a
think-
17 magazine.
Exactly. Except it was more like geography books and like just.
It's like, geography.
It's like I had to read an atlas to really mellow out from that.
And then you gotta strike a middle.
Yeah.
But
great.
it's funny because I used to watch a lot of game shows when I was
Oh,
like, 6
sure.
as a kid, like GSN Game Show Network. And I was talking to someone recently, and I was like spitting out all these old school game shows. I was like, oh, like Match Game, Card Sharks, like this, that, and the other thing. And these people had no idea what I was talking about. And I was
How
like,
about
you guys-
Lingo?
Lingo.
Lingo was
Oh,
great.
That was the one.
With the chick, with the shit. That was great.
And then if you pulled out the red ball, it was like, you skip your turn. It was crazy. I loved Match Game because it was literally Match Game in like old school Family Feud, where it's just like people in the 70s getting totally sauced on television and smoking and like lightly making out at times.
It's really interesting stuff.
And exactly, similar to you, Karina, way too young and just like, no.
How about that?
How about that? Well, anyway, we were getting drastically off track.
Drastically. Spike Lee, David Byrne. It's going to be great, everybody. We're looking forward to it.
And Karina, this week we bring back the weekly shout out.
Bringing it back.
So we have a wonderful weekly shout out by a wonderful band by the name of Fruition. They just stopped by here at Relix headquarters for a little bit of a video session. Then they traversed over to the wonderful coffee shop across the street with myself, and we did an interview for like a half hour. And then they were so kind to take even more of their time and do a little weekly shout out.
Roll the tape.
Hey, this is Fruition, and you're listening to the 3 from the 7 podcast with Raph and Karina.
And blurbity blurb blurb, we're gonna do a little blurb for y'all. We're playing tonight at the Brooklyn Bowl, so come out and bring all your blurbity blurbs and blurb along with us.
Blurbin'
All right. Thank you to Fruition. Wonderful. Karina, I name dropped you because I was like, oh, my podcast with Karina, this and that. And I was like, do you know Karina? And they said, know her. She opened for us at the Brooklyn Bowl once.
It's true.
I was like, that's fucking rad. It's
true.
Fruition's a great band. Any thoughts, Karina?
Love them. Come on.
Speak truth to power.
What's not to like? I'm glad that they came through. I'm sorry I missed them. I'm glad that you interviewed them in a coffee shop. And we had a great gig about 2 years ago at the Bowl, whenever that was. And it was great times.
Phantasmagorical. They came out with 2 records in 2 months.
Whoa.
I know. Can you imagine?
No. That's prolific. Look at that.
Prolific as fuck. Check them out. They're on Spotify, all that good stuff. And they, as they mentioned in their weekly shout out, are at the Brooklyn Bowl tonight. So if you're listening on Wednesday, head on out to the Brooklyn Bowl. I will be there. So come and fluff my ego and say hi. Karina, I think we come to the end of our road. Anything else you want to plug? Colorado or any of that good stuff? Life
Colorado.
advice for our listeners?
Hey, everybody, just take it one day at a time, all right? Don't get bogged down by some weird shit, you just got to focus on today and then maybe tomorrow. And then after that, you just you figure it out. It's going to be great.
There you go. Genuinely good advice.
There you go. This has been great, Raph. Thank you so much.
Of course. I got to tell the people to not forget to sign up for the Relix Daily 7 at relix.com/daily. And Karina, they got to subscribe to Relix Magazine. It's the greatest magazine in the goddamn world.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Go to relix.com/subscribe. Follow us on Instagram now at 3 from the 7. That's the number 3, the number 7. And 3 from the 7 is brought to you by Relix Media Group. Shout out to our engineer, Mr. Will Schwerd.
Will Schwerd.
Hashtag Schwerd up. Karina, hit me with a little applause here.
Jesus Christ, we love that
Jesus
guy.
Christ, we love that man. Email us at raffandkarina@gmail.com. Tune in next week, next Wednesday. Karina will be here. I will be here. You will be here. Let's have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye-bye.